peace, and soul.
How you like me now? How you like me now?
Yeah, we got a whole lot of soul going on today, baby. Yeah. Yes, we do. It's Thursday, which, of course, always kicks off football week. Even though we're not really talking too much about the weekday CUSA and action. Thursday is when it all gets crazy, I should say. Is when it all gets crazy in football. It's XLP. I'm Matt Hayes. He's Leon Cersei. JJ LaSelva's got it going. Running the show. Joe C. He's got some golf duties. He's out today and tomorrow. We got a big show today. We'll talk Jags. We're going to get into a lot of college football. What the hell is going on at Florida State? But, unless you've been under a rock for the last hour and a half, what's going on right now in the NBA is just absolutely, in a word, remarkable. Just remarkable. A gambling scandal that, number one, is years long that the feds have been looking into, that so far has landed arrests, indictments of Trailblazers coach Chauncey Billups, Heat guard Terry Rozier, former NBA player Damon Jones, and how else can I say this? The mob families of Bonanno, Gambino, and Genovese. And that's not a law firm, okay? Those are the three New York crime families that are involved in this. It's a years-long investigation spanning 11 states, resulting in more than 30 arrests of they say, a detailed scheme targeting victims who were lured to participate in poker games alongside former professional athletes. The indictment also includes, you ready for this? Acts of violence, including a robbery at gunpoint in order to obtain a rigged shuffling machine, as well as other extortions. The defendants laundered their proceeds, according to the Justice Department officials, through cash exchanges, use of multiple shell companies, and through cryptocurrency transfers. Now, the question here is this, as we start off on our Modelo Thursday.
That's a lot right there, bro.
As we start off on our Modelo Thursday, and I'm not going to do the Modelo yell, but Leon.
Who, me? Oh, in honor of Joe?
In honor of Joe.
Absolutely, I'll do it in honor of Joe. No?
No, bro, that was bad. That was almost as bad as JJ's.
I'm worried about your health. That sounded like someone on his last.
That did.
Well, give me another chance. Here we go.
Right, one more.
That was
Better.
Here we go. Here we
Better.
go. All right.
Better.
Back on track. All
JJ,
right, my
go ahead.
apologies.
Yours. Thank
There
you.
you go. That's
It's
another
JJ's.
Joe C.
So this kind of I promise we're gonna get into the Jags, but this is just funny. This is actually just the idea that NBA players that make more money. It's probably close between the NBA and baseball, right? I would say it's very close. Who makes more money? But
Well,
they're
the
both.
high-end
They're
guys,
both the high end. They're both.
Yeah, they make about the same, I would say. But the regular everyday Joe in the NBA makes more than anybody
More than that,
else.
right?
Yeah.
Right. So
because the rosters are so small.
So the question then becomes: is you're talking about a guy who we looked up.
Terry
Terry Rozier's career earnings are $160 million,
and he's still in the league. He's still getting paid.
Chauncey Billups' career earnings are $100 million.
He's coaching.
He's also a head coach of the Trailblazers.
Yeah, that's
and he's a member of the Naismith Hall of Fame.
Yeah. See, this is the point that you're missing, Matt Hayes. That athletes are ego-driven. All right. Doesn't matter how much money we make. We compete at everything. We compete with cars, clothes, jewelry, women, house, vacations. Why are you so surprised that they're making hundreds of millions of dollars and they're competing playing poker?
Well, that's only one. That's Chauncey Billups. So Chauncey Billups is involed with this poker ring.
Right.
Yeah, the poker.
To me, I don't even know how you're getting arrested for that. Honestly,
we'll
that's
get into
sort
that.
of insane.
We'll
but
get into that.
The other one is Terry Rozier, which is completely different. To me, this is serious.
Alleged boy shaving.
Yes. So
Yes.
he.
Okay, gotcha.
I guess there was someone.
Explain the whole anecdote. Go ahead.
Yeah, someone who placed lots of money and a few bets, I guess.
$16,400
on a random game where
multiple
Terry
bets
Rozier
over 40 minutes. Over 40 minutes.
Yeah, so like for his under total. So every player you can bet it doesn't matter if you're the superstar on the team or the 5th best player on the team. They have these totals
More or less.
every game, exactly,
Just
more
like
or
Prize
less.
Picks, yes.
And so a bunch of people bet, or a bunch of money was bet on Terry Rozier's under totals for points, assists, or whatever in this very obscure particular game that I think is in 2023. And it just so happens that in that game, Terry Rozier took himself out
pulled
after
out.
9 minutes because of a, quote, injury. So he wasn't very sneaky about it.
First off, nobody was sneaky about
No.
it, okay? The guy who's betting, who placed multiple bets in the tens of bets over a 40-minute period over $16,000, okay? Then Rozier, who literally could have done anything other than pull himself out.
He
He
could
could
have
have just
sucked.
played the game and
Yeah.
sucked, and everything would have been fine. Okay. Now the system that all the casinos have they have this great system where they can tell
If there's more
if
bets
there's more
on
bets
a
on one
certain game,
specific
like
thing.
yeah,
They figure it
usually
out quickly.
Probably the purse for a normal bet like that is
Right.
nowhere close to that.
So
Right.
the casino pinched them.
So
Yeah, they
so-
can easily see when
All that money they make, they pinch
Un-
them.
normal bets
So
are
it's the
made.
greedy guy who went to his buddy Rozier and said, "Bro, I need some money, man. Help me out." And Rozier, like an idiot, just said, "All right, I'll pull myself out. You bet on it."
No, here's my theory is the opposite. I think that Rozier's hurt, probably told his buddies, "Hey, I'm hurt. I'm not going to play much in this game. I'm going to take myself out. So why don't you make some money off of this?"
Okay, so then if you
Either way,
if you
it's-
think that's
he
the-
should be kicked out of the
okay,
league.
so I'm gonna
for
give
life.
you mine. Okay, my idea is one of his buddies came up to him and said, "Bro, I'm desperate. I need some cash.
Could've
I got
been
a
that.
problem. I got these guys coming after me. They say they're gonna break my legs. Whatever." Okay, and Rozier, instead of simply just giving him $100,000 or whatever he needed, said, "All right, I'll pull myself out of this game. I haven't been feeling well. I've got a bad ankle. I'll pull myself out. You bet on it." And he probably had no idea the idiot wasn't going to bet 20 bets of $16,000 to reach whatever number he needed to reach. That's my idea.
Yeah, I would find it impossible. Yes, I agree. It could be either one of those. I don't think he owed anyone money. I think he's made so much money that there's no way he's in with some mafiosos who are making him point spread. I don't think it's that. So I think it is one of those two options. Either way, guys should be banned for life, honestly. And
They all
I
should be
don't
banned
like
for
people
life.
going to jail for stuff like that. But I think he should have to pay something. And I think he should be kicked out of the league. We can't have that. As if you as ESPN and the NBA and all these have all these betting partners, and every commercial break that I saw last night during the Wembanyama game is all some DraftKings or
Every one of 'em.
sports book, Hard Rock, whatever it
Yes.
is. You can't tell us, "Hey, come bet on our product," and then your product not be above
It's
board.
flawed. Correct.
You
Yes.
can't have that. You got to kick guys like that out of
signage
the
in
league.
the arena.
Yeah.
They've got signage outside the arena.
And dude, it's happening in every
yes,
sport.
every sport, including college sports now.
Oh, especially college sports because they're not making a lot of as much money. But in baseball this year, there was 2 Cleveland Indians players who both threw. I guess you can bet on like the first pitch of this inning, will it be a ball or a strike? You can bet on the most inane things. So they had been betting they would throw a ball the very first pitch of this inning, and like you can go back and watch. They're just throwing it in the dirt, like way outside, like making it super obvious. And like you said, these baseball players make a ton of money too. We had Ridley. I don't think Ridley was ever involved in point shaving, but it was something to do with gambling.
let me just
I'm
say
just
this to
saying,
you.
it's going to be a story in the NFL real soon.
When LSU expanded its stadium in the early 2020s, like 2021, they added luxury seats and loge boxes, and they did a deal with not just any old like FanDuel or Prize Pick, with Caesars.
Yeah. They run the Superdome.
Caesars did all of their signage, had all their signage throughout LSU Stadium. And a couple years later, LSU was like, "What are we doing?" And they ended the deal. But for 2 years, 3 years, that's all you saw there in that stadium was stuff for Caesars Entertainment, Caesars Sportsbook. So I guess my whole thing with this is, what do they expect? What do they expect is going to happen? This stuff has been going on with gambling or whatever you want to call it, entertainment. I don't care whatever you want to call it. I don't really care, actually. I'm fine with it. I don't care.
Yeah, as
You do
long as
whatever you
it's
want to
not
do with it.
making the sport
Right,
not
as long
real.
as you're not compromising the sport. I don't care
And
what
when
happens.
that happens, you have to set
But-
an example, and you got to kick these guys out
Right,
for life.
right,
man.
because, and this is my point, because this stuff happened 70 years ago, 100 years ago, 150 years ago
course.
with wagering on sports, on anything. It
The
always
Black
happens.
Sox, they threw the World Series.
Yes. So you can't, like, you had to expect this, number one. And number two, like you said, JJ, you absolutely, positively, 100% have to make an example out of these guys. You have to if you're the NBA.
Now,
There's
the
no
Chauncey
other way
Billups,
around it.
I don't even know what that's about.
So I know we got to
really
go to
haven't
break.
read
Hang
too much
on.
into that story, but it seems like he was just in the wrong place.
He
at
was
the
running
wrong
the
time.
game for him, basically.
Okay.
He was running the players in there
But to
so
me,
they could
that's
play former
different.
players.
To me, just having a high-end poker game, even
Here's
if
another
it's
thing, too.
backed by some people that aren't great, to me, that's totally different than Terry Rose. I don't understand why both these stories.
I'll tell you
are,
why
are,
it's
like,
different. I'll
involved.
tell you why it's different, because you're not just, if you're Chauncey Billups, you're not just going to, out of the good of your heart, going to randomly set up former players to play other people, to play just rando dudes in poker games because the law firm of Gambino told you to do so. You're doing it because you owe them something.
No, or you make money off of getting other people into the game. So
Yeah,
it's
I don't know
and
about
it's
that,
fun.
bro.
It's every single guy listening to this show right now has been involved in an
I love
illegal
poker games.
game.
I love
Give
them.
me a
Absolutely.
break,
I love
dude.
them. Yes, 100%.
But
I'm not
because they
disagreeing.
have more money, it's higher end, and you're playing with people who have money.
Right,
and
but we're also not dealing with crime families either. Literal mafia crime families. Extortion.
who is being extorted though? Like,
Well,
is that
that's
part
what
of
the
the
feds
sto-
are saying. It's part,
Okay.
it's part of the indictment.
Like I said, I don't know the ins and outs of the Chauncey Billups part, but to me, it looks totally unrelated to the Terry Rozier story. And unfortunately, he's getting thrown in there with a guy who was shaving points.
All right. When we come back, we're going to ask Leon about what it's like and how gambling, how he's seen gambling as a professional player and in college. Leon said he's got a good anecdote for this, okay? So we're going to get into the Jags. We're going to get into college football, but we're going to go one more segment on this gambling because it's very intriguing. Get on board on the text line brought to you by our good friends at Lifetime Enclosure, 641-1010. Give us your thoughts on this crazy, expanding story in the NBA and gambling.
XL Primetime.
Driven by Duval Ford. When it comes to your favorite football team, John Osher is oh so sure to find the inside insight to keep you up to date. Wednesdays from 10 to noon on Jaguars Today. Served up by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views.
When it comes to your utility bill, JEA wants to help you use less so you can save more. We offer a variety of free programs, like efficiency and irrigation assessments that'll teach you ways to conserve energy and water around your home. Our alerts will let you know when your utility usage has reached a set amount, and our rebates can help you save when upgrading to more efficient appliances and equipment. Find even more ways to save at JEA.com.
Rick Ballou for Coy Dental. That's right, Carlson Dental is now Coy Dental. Dr. Lee has been practicing there for 9 years, has purchased the company. The Coy Dental team still has the same great dentists and staff. And remember, if you get nervous visiting a dentist, don't. There's never a problem at Coy Dental with light sedation for cleaning and deep sedation for all your restorative needs. Coy Dental, located in Bartram Park.
It's not girl talk, it's sports talk.
Let's talk football.
Tom McManus adds his helmet to the heels with Lauren Brooks and Taylor Dahl. Afternoons 2 to 4. Fought for you by Green Law Group on 1010XL.
The Golf Club of Southampton has big plans for 2026, renewing the greens plus plenty more. But right now's the time to take advantage of member opportunities before the big renovation. Now until the end of December, you can join and save $1,500 off their initiation fee plus $500 back in a gift card with a 12-month commitment. All the details are at golfsouthampton.com. Playability for every skill level and a huge practice area to hone your game. Lock in now and enjoy membership privileges at the Golf Club of Southampton.
Hello, this is Father Nicholas Lowe, and I want to talk to you about letting things roll off of your back. So often we can make big deals out of things that are not really big deals. we can allow them to steal the joy of our day. But let me remind you that don't allow anyone or anything to steal the joy of today. Go out today not letting little things steal the big things that God has in store for you.
For more inspiration, log on to stjohnthedivine.com.
Ticket here for Action Garage Door. Nothing more frustrating than your garage door misfiring. When it does, I call Action Garage Door. They take action. Jeff and Art and crew, Jacksonville folks, not some big out-of-town chain. Something goes wrong with your garage door, take action. Check them out, Garage Door 911, garagedoor911.com.
This football season, make Hurricane Grill and Wings your game day getaway. Sip on handcrafted cocktails like the Millionaire Margarita or enjoy an ice-cold Bud Light. Game day drink specials are here all season. Find a location near you at hurricanewings.com.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code HEAT to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code HEAT for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code HEAT for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
When the unexpected happens, you shouldn't have to face it alone. I'm Chris Campione, and at Campione Law, we're here to fight for you. Whether it's an auto accident or a slip and fall, our Jacksonville team takes care of every detail, from investigating the incident to securing multi-million-dollar verdicts, so you can focus on getting better. And remember, you don't pay a dime unless we win your case. Our commitment is 24/7, bringing you the real support from real people who really care. Campione Law, your dedicated partners in justice. Visit CampioneLaw.com.
Count on Campione, Campione Law.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Now, the Lemon Pepper Locker Room with Leon Searcy. Served up by Wingstop.
All right. Wingstop's got a promo this weekend. Promo code JACKS10 for $10 off a Wingstop 50-piece wing pack every Saturday and Sunday.
That's JAX10. JAX10.
JAX10, absolutely. All right, in the spirit of gambling, these are all these allegations.
They're pretty good allegations.
You know, allegedly, right now, allegedly.
Yeah,
So-
Matt wants to convict.
Yeah, he wants absolutely. I'm listening to
I love it.
He wants to bang the gavel right now. These guys are being, they're being, he already guilty as charged. Thank you, JJ. I appreciate it. So, okay, my days at University of Miami, these allegedly, we had a teammate of mine. I'm not going to mention his name. It's not important.
All right.
He was a running back.
All right. Well, we've already narrowed it down. It's not that big of a player room right there, man.
Well, he was a running back that came with me in 1987.
Oh my God.
Now you narrowed it down even more.
Okay, well, because these
What
are
was his number?
These some serious
You don't
statistics.
need numbers. If he came with him in '87, how many running backs did Miami sign?
So he was a teammate of mine, and he was sketchy at best. All right, he would be the type of guy that would go into your dorm room and steal food out your fridge. Okay,
that's worse than gambling,
no,
man.
he steal food out your fridge, and then he would steal money out your pocket in the locker room. Okay,
Oh,
and
you
then
can't have that.
he actually stole somebody's chain and wore it the next day. So Dennis Erickson,
He wore it.
He wore the chain that he stole for the teammate the next day. All right. So Dennis Erickson had to suspend him. So he suspended him in a game that really wasn't that important because he wanted him for the next game.
So he was a good player.
He was a good player. So the next game was Notre Dame. So we go into the Notre Dame game, and inside the 5-yard line, he fumbles twice. Okay. So the fellas in the locker room were like, wait a minute.
Well, now you've basically told everybody who it is, by the way.
Okay, well, if you go do your research, you'll know who he is. I'm not going to say his name because it's really not important, his name. But I'm just telling you, these allegations, allegedly, had the fellas, had the fellas in the locker room like, would he do something
Side-eye.
like? Would he do something like that? Because for one, he's a thief. He's a lying thief, and you steal from your teammates. So would he
On
lose a
purpose.
game on purpose? To cash out on it.
Yeah, well, he's not just a thief. He's a lion thief.
He's a lion thief.
Now, was he known to fumble previously?
Not really.
Ooh.
Bro, he 100% shaved that game.
So it was a game that we had already lost the first game of the season,
right,
to BYU,
right.
So we couldn't afford to lose another one,
right.
Or we're gonna be out the champion.
Yeah, this wasn't this soft ass playoff college football that we have now.
So
you lose 3. You know what I actually heard today?
Right,
I heard today if UCLA wins out, can they go to the college football playoff? I almost ran my car off the road. Anyway, go ahead.
Okay, speaking of the soft, did you play Pacific that year, by the way, Leon?
Who?
Dude, that schedule was insane back then. How dare you?
Exactly. Exactly.
Anyway, go ahead, bro.
So that's my story. So allegedly, my teammate of mine and everybody in the locker room after the game,
everybody was side-eyeing him the whole time.
Yeah, we was a little side-eyeing because it's Notre Dame. We got to win. You fumble twice inside the 5. It's a problem. So, luckily, he graduated that year. He was gone afterwards.
Again, you've basically told everybody who listens to this show who the guy was.
His name did not come out of my mouth. All right?
All right, and before...
I gave you all the breadcrumbs.
Before you guys all, JJ gets on me that I want to convict these guys, and before you side with JJ.
Yeah, we live in America, man. You have your day in court.
It's only,
what is this?
And
Taliban ran Afghanistan? Come on.
I completely agree with you. Everybody gets their day in court. All I'm telling you is this isn't like some little friendly poker game, okay? This is a years-long investigation by the feds that spanned 11 states, resulted in more than 30 arrests, and implicated, again, I'm going to say this, the Bonanno, Gambino, and Genovese organized crime families.
So wait a minute, this poker.
Hang on. Let me finish real quick.
Okay, go ahead.
The case involving Billups centers on a rigged multiple poker games that took place across the United States.
Well, here's the key word.
Hang
rigged.
on, right, rigged.
I didn't know that.
With the scheme targeting victims who are often lured to participate by the chance to play alongside former professional athletes.
Okay.
The indictment also includes, are you ready for this? Acts of violence, including a robbery at gunpoint in order to obtain a rigged shuffling machine, as well as extortions. The defendants laundered their proceeds, the defendants being Chauncey Billups.
So I wonder if
according to Justice Department officials, including through cash exchanges, use of multiple shell companies, and through cryptocurrency transfers.
Okay, so if we find out that Chauncey knew that these games were rigged, that people were being extorted or whatever, and was still bringing people to the game, then I got a real issue. But if he was just one of these guys who got fooled into playing in a rigged poker game, then I feel bad for him, and I don't think he should go to prison for that.
Exactly,
there's a huge difference.
The indictment said he was setting them up. He was setting up them and former players to play.
Cool. Yeah, not cool.
He was setting up former players to come in and play?
He was bringing former players in to set them up against just random people like me and you who wanted to play with former players.
But the whole game was rigged.
Knowing the game was rigged.
That ain't right.
No,
I'm sure he'll argue he didn't know the game was rigged.
Of course, yeah.
And I hope he didn't.
I hope he didn't either. I mean, because Matt Hayes, believe it or not, us athletes, we run into shady people at shady times.
I can't believe that, really?
Yeah, absolutely. When you make the kind of money these guys make, you run into people who may not be above water.
It's
above a court.
The thing is, too, is this happened, okay? There's so much else other out there that they don't even know about. Like, there are guys,
especially
in
with
college
the
sports,
gambling,
in professional sports. I'm telling you right now, just the random Arena Football League game, I guarantee has someone shaving something on that. If you can bet on it.
Well, not the Sharks.
If you can bet on it. Not the Sharks, no. Of course not the Sharks.
Yeah, you just throwing the...
Yeah, what the hell?
I'm just saying a random. I'm saying a random game.
He's like the Iceman.
All I'm saying is there's... Like, JJ, for instance, you say... Sometimes you will bet with a bookie. Joe also bets with a bookie.
Whoa. These are off-air conversations.
What are you doing right now?
Joe has said that before.
What are you doing right now?
So the point being is you never know what kind of situation these guys can get in, correct? When you owe people money, there's all different kind of situations you can get in.
Yeah.
And that's kind of my point. The integrity of the game, the integrity of the league is at stake now, because now... How do we know that these three crime families aren't deeply involved in the league right now?
Yeah, we don't.
How do we know they haven't got their tentacles into other players, other coaches? And that's the whole thing.
I just don't understand.
If you're Adam Silver, that's your problem.
I don't understand how the mafia is involved with the Rozier story.
I think that's separate. That's separate. I don't
It's
think-
all
I don't
just
know-
part of the same. Like
It's all part of the
obviously,
same
Cash
full
Patel,
indictment.
who runs the FBI. By the way, Cash, there's lists out there that we want you to get down to the bottom of. This wasn't really something that we cared about, but that's off topic. But anyway, I guess that they decided, hey, we're going to release all this information at the beginning of the NBA season as like a, I don't know, like a PR thing, because these stories seem unrelated. But to release them on the same day, it's like the very beginning of the season. It'll get the most talk. I don't know where it came from, but I feel like Terry Rozier's is not mafia involved at all. It just sounds like a dumbass.
Right, but I mean, if you're talking about acts of violence, robbery at gunpoint, extortion.
Yeah, but that's the Chauncey Billups thing.
No, I know that. But that doesn't mean there wasn't other problems as far as point. You're talking about point shaving right now. That's
right.
It's not only that guy's trying
but
to
I wonder
win money.
if that is the mafia involved in that too.
I don't. I mean,
know.
they didn't make it clear.
No, they didn't.
But I will say this: he's not only affecting the guy who's trying to make money off him. He's affecting many other gamblers with their totals or their individual bets on him. So it's not just a one guy. So I think that's the whole thing is this thing reaches far other areas of impact within the sport than just the one guy. That's the issue. I think if you're Adam Silver, you're the commissioner of the NBA, you got a big problem on your hands because in this day and age where we are now with the intensity of social media and the intensity of you're guilty until you're proved that you're innocent, they now have a problem with the NBA, a big problem.
Yeah, I agree. So the integrity of the sport is what you're absolutely.
Sure.
Yeah. Well,
and when that gets questioned, bro, your whole sport becomes. That's no bueno.
No, I mean it becomes a situation where there's no trust, and then there's, then if you got a young family and you want to go see a sports game and your choice is the NBA or your choice is, I don't know, an NFL game or a college game or a baseball game, what are you doing?
Yeah, but this ain't nothing new though. You think this is nothing new?
No.
I know it's not, but my point is the way we are right now in this world where social media and the immediacy of social media literally dictates what people do. That's what I would be concerned about anyway. And I'm not saying I like the whole idea of the sewer that is social media, but that's our reality.
Well, the different channels of gambling that the NBA allows it. The FanDuels,
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they're sponsored. They sponsor with the NBA, so you can't those channels you can't vilify them because they make money off.
Correct. They've got to walk a very tight line in how they deal with this, and it's going to be very interesting to see how they deal with it. They've suspended Rozier and Chauncey Billups, which of course they had to do, and definitely suspend them until the investigation is complete. Excuse me, but
I think they've probably seen their last games in the NBA as coaches / players
because they're not just good. I would think that the first thing they did, they used to have. Remember Rod Thorne? He used to be like basically their cop, the NBA's cop, and he used to investigate all this stuff. My guess is they talked to these two guys and said, "This is what the feds say you did. What's your response?" And if their response is, "Oh, I didn't know," like you think it's going to be. The number one, like if I'm Silver, I'm saying, all right, you're done. You're suspended until we figure this thing out.
And you're not exactly LeBron James either,
right?
So
Exactly.
you're disposable.
Yeah, because it's implied that they did these things, and it may take months or even years before they figure it out.
Yeah. This game that they're talking about with Rozier was in 2023.
23,
exactly. And so I mean, they, just the whole stain of their name, they can never get back in the game at all, even if they're found innocent.
I mean, again, when you go to break, but again, this is. Like Chauncey Billups is a member of the Hall of Fame. It's money, bro. It's money. I'm telling you, money just changes everybody. Everybody. I don't care who you are, and I don't care how much you make. You never have enough money. Goodness gracious! All right.
On that note, we're gonna play some commercials.
Yeah, we're gonna go to a break. We're gonna come back. We're gonna get back into some ball. We're gonna bring Connor O'Gara from Saturday Down South is going to talk some college football. We're going to get into what's going on at Florida State, maybe even Miami too. After that, just gut punch of a loss to Louisville. Come back on the other side. We'll get into some football.
XL Primetime, driven by Duval Ford.
Frank Frangie here. It's always truck season at Nimnick Chevrolet. Well, this month, you can save up to 20% off a new Silverado or get financing rates as low as 0%. Unlike most dealerships, Nimnick Chevrolet has the largest inventory on the ground, ready for you to explore. With their extensive selection, you're sure to find your perfect truck at Nimnick. So shop online at nimnickchevy.com or visit the dealership at Park and Cassett. Who's got more new Chevrolets at the best prices? Nobody but Nimnick. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
It's your boy, Big Sirs, all-pro lineman and your lemon pepper guy. Nothing screams game day like Wingstop. But get this, every Saturday and Sunday this football season, score big with Wingstop special deals. Order a 50-piece wing pack online at wingstop.com or Wingstop app. Use the promo code JACK10 and get $10 off. That's right, carry out or delivery. It's your call. Use online promo JACK10 for $10 off 50-piece wing pack. Fire up your game day. Order this weekend with Wingstop.
This is Mike Lynch, PGA golf professional. Take it from me, if you're dealing with an orthopedic issue, talk to the doctors at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, where you're treated like a pro.
This is Dr. Kevin Murphy with Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, where athletes are treated like pros. Thanks to all of you who have allowed us to be part of your recovery. Call us at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists if you ever have a need.
Relieve pain and get back to life. SOS. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
AA Automotive helps keep your vehicle in dependable and safe condition. Call Sam, Harry, or Joe, and they'll check your brakes, tires, fluids, electric, and motor, so your ride runs smooth on the road. That's AA Automotive on Richard Street.
I know two brothers whose minds are always in the gutters.
Hi, I'm Tim.
And I'm Kevin.
We are the Good Brothers.
That's good with an E.
From Good Brothers Roofs and Gutters.
We install 6 and 7-inch seamless gutters, plus we repair and replace roofs, pool enclosures, and super gutters.
We are the Good Brothers, veteran-owned and local.
Visit goodbrothersroofsandgutters.com.
License number CCC 1334384.
Good Brothers Roofs and Gutters.
Touchdowns are great, but hand-delivered fall flowers, that's the real MVP move. Jacksonville Flower Market can help you be the MVP. Pick up at Beach and Southside or online at jacksonvilleflowermarket.com. Jacksonville Flower Market, where love wins every Sunday.
Morning, Zoe. Got donuts.
Jeff Bridges, why are you still living above our garage?
Well, I dig the mattress, and I want to be in a T-Mobile commercial like you. Teach me, Saldana.
Oh, no, I'm not really prepared. I couldn't possibly. At T-Mobile, get the new iPhone 17 Pro on them. It's designed to be the most powerful iPhone yet and has the ultimate pro camera system.
Wow, impressive. Let me try. T-Mobile is the best place to get iPhone 17 Pro because they've got the best network.
Nice, Jeffrey.
You heard them. T-Mobile is the best place to get the new iPhone 17 Pro on us with eligible trade-in in any condition.
So, what are we having for lunch?
Dude, my work here is done.
24 monthly bill credits on experience beyond for well-qualified customers plus tax and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off earlier. Cancel. Finance agreement iPhone 17 Pro 256 gigs, $1,099.99 and new line minimum $100 plus a month plan with auto pay plus taxes and fees required. Best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Ookla Speed Test Intelligence data 1H2025. Visit T-Mobile.com.
Been in a car crash? I'm local attorney Rick Alexander, and I've made it our mission at the Alexander Law Practice to listen to you so I can fight for the best possible result for you. I've been practicing over 30 years, and our team focuses on guiding you through the entire process. And because fees and reimbursement costs come out at the end of the case, I will never ask you to come out of pocket. For a free review, call 904-400-6600 or log on to alexanderlawpractice.com, Jacksonville.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Now, another great guest on the Checkmate Coatings phone line. Hello. Your floor's missing piece.
All right, we're back on XLP. Matt Hayes, Leon Cersei. Joe C. is off for a couple days doing some golf work. JJ's making it all happen. Let's go to the phone lines. Bring up Connor O'Gara, my good buddy from Saturday Down South. Connor, it's getting interesting in college football right about now. The coaching change, the coaching carousel, the hiring, firing process has just started so soon, and I don't think it's going to end anytime soon either.
No, it's not. And my question is, how late will it go? Are we going to go deep into January with this? Are we going to have teams that are trying to hire coaches that are in playoff games, because this is really unique with the expanded playoff. And I realize that we have changed now the college football calendar to where we have the early signing period in early December. We now have one transfer portal window. It's in early January. But this is wild how this is all unfolding with all these premier jobs opening. And I would love to know inside the mind of an athletic director of how in the world they're going to make this work. Because you look at all these candidates that are out there too, not just what jobs are available, but the candidates. And so many of them are like, oh, man, they could be coaching in a college football playoff game, and for all we know, they could be untouchable.
Yeah, Connor, I was going to ask you that. When it comes to Florida, is it Lane Kiffin or Bus, or is there any other candidates out there that they may be looking at?
Yeah, Leon, I think it is Lane Kiffin or bust, at least in the minds of Florida fans. Now, in terms of what's actually realistic, I think you could see some other things play out, because my guess is still that Lane Kiffin is going to stay at Ole Miss. Maybe I could be proven wrong on that. Lord knows Lane has been, obviously warm to make a move like that. We've seen him make plenty of moves that have raised eyebrows, but I do think that they will end up with someone that isn't Lane Kiffin, and Florida fans will be disappointed. I think that's the way that this will end up. I don't think Eli Drinkowitz will end up getting it, even though he's plenty qualified, in my opinion. Florida fans just don't like him because he's dorky, which is a really dumb reason to not like a coach that's 27-6 over the course of the last 3 years. But I won't get into that. I think someone like John Summerall could make a lot of sense, as could Alex Golesh. But are they really going to be willing to make their big splash at the Group of Five level again? Because that's what Billy Napier was. So I think this could go in a variety of ways. Would not surprise me to see Brent Key leave his alma mater at Georgia Tech and pursue this job as well. I think that could make a lot of sense from Florida's perspective. So I think the net that Scott Strickland is going to cast will be far and wide.
Brent Key. That's interesting. I love Brent Key, okay? And if he's bringing Buster Faulkner with him, and if he's bringing Aaron Philo with him as quarterback, who is the backup to Haynes King right now, I'm saying, yeah, I'm all right with that too. Brent Key's interesting. Very interesting. Again, I don't know that that's a ways down the list guy, I think. But if you're Florida, I mean, Connor, you can't choose an Alex Golesh or a John Summerall. You can't choose another G5 guy to run that program. You've now, so we're joking now here on this show. We're calling it the every 4 year firing, or the leap year firing, because every 4 years they're firing somebody because they chose the wrong guy. At some point, you just got to literally throw down your money and just say, look, we're going all in on this guy, X guy. And I think that's what they got to do right now. I don't think you can make another mistake, because if you make another mistake, Connor, you're now going into two lost decades instead of one.
I would agree with that, but at the same time, they've done a variety of different moves. They haven't made the same move every time. Like, once upon a time, Urban Meyer was a 41-year-old coach from Utah who people are like, hey, you won at that level, but Utah is not considered a power conference program yet. Can he win at a place like Florida? And very quickly we got our answer. They've gone the coordinator route before. They've gone even within the SEC with Dan Mullen, and personality-wise, that didn't work out. People are already using revisionist history, saying that he shouldn't have ever been fired, and forgetting how bad that final year plus was with Mullen and how strained that relationship with Scott Strickland was. So much of this is going to come down to who is actually fit personality-wise to take on that job. And are they actually able to go out and get a power conference coach, one that's respected, to want to take on all the things that are attached to this, which is a very short leash, a leash that's unlike maybe any in college football right now, with that 4-year track record and the way that, for whatever reason, they just can't have that long-term fit. And they gave money to Billy Napier. Those other coaches would argue they didn't have the funding, the resources. Billy Napier was the one that got the 7-year commitment for, like $60 million we're talking about here, if you include his staff. So it's hard to say that there is a clear path for Florida, but it does feel like they are about to at least try to take a big swing.
So, Connor, what do you think they're going to do at Florida State? Do you think they're just going to ride that out, or do you think they're going to cash out at the end of the season?
Cash out at the end of the season. I do. Think about it. Like, guys, this isn't all of a sudden just going to go away next year, or the year after that, or the year after that. They're going to have to pay a large sum of money to someone who has mostly underwhelmed during his time in Tallahassee. And I have been just wrong about Mike Norvell at every single turn. So I've kind of given up trying to predict what his next year plus is going to look like, but it's hard to imagine it getting better from this standpoint. And you know what? You made these 2 hires at your coordinator spots. One looks like it's worked out. One looks like it hasn't. And that's what this was always going to come down to. Even if you end up going 6-6 with a 4-win improvement, what did you really show? If you're starting off 0-4 in ACC play, what's considered the lowest of the power conferences, and you're not even close to sniffing a playoff berth by the middle of October, you can't sell hope. And I think that building will reflect the desperation that they're going to feel, and I think ultimately they'll make that move at season's end.
I would, yeah. I understand everything you're saying, and I agree with everything you're saying. I would be shocked if they paid $60 million to him. Tell him not to coach.
But is it changing, though? Like, it's not going down that much.
No,
That's
but
the
my
thing,
point
it's
is
like,
this. If you pay him 60, you're going to end up paying 70 to pay everybody off, including the 2 coordinators he just hired to long-term deals and the rest of the staff. Then you're going to have to pay another $70 million total to another coach and his staff. So you're going to have to pay $140 million to make a change there.
As opposed to 2 years from now when it's going to be, what, like $120 million to do that instead of $140?
Yeah, well then I guess
know. It's
then
gonna
I
be
guess
really
you
tough.
hope he hits it big in the portal again. But I mean that's just wow. I want to move on to another coach now because now we're it's so funny because I wrote something today at USA Today that we're all so obsessed with the hiring and firing that we're ignoring one of the best stories out there, if not the best story out there this season. The guy who should have been fired at the end of last season after losing a home game to his bitter rival and after he stood there and watched his team fight the bitter rival on his field and did nothing. Is now might be the most bulletproof coach of all, is Ryan Day. So I'm not going to get into Ryan Day right now, but I want to ask you about Brian Kelly because Brian Kelly's a very interesting situation right now. They're 5-2. They've got unbeaten Texas A&M rolling in there. A big game in Baton Rouge at night. Texas A&M goes in there and wins that game rather easily. What does that say for Brian Kelly and the way they're thinking at LSU and the fans there, especially with they still got to play Oklahoma, still got to play Alabama. There could be 5 losses on that schedule.
Yeah, and a team that I predicted to win a national championship. Now, I think it'd be a little bit of a different story if Garrett Nussmeier had been healthy. I think the Whit Weeks injury is the cloud that's looming over this matchup, which is really daunting after seeing what Marcel Reed did in relief last year in this game in College Station. And I think LSU fans are bracing for the worst. They really are. I mean, this has been a team that had such promise post Week 1, but we were just talking about Florida State. Maybe just throw out Week 1 with this season and how we felt because it just feels like such a mirage. And I am still of the belief that Brian Kelly will get a year 5. Now, I'm not saying that that's 100% certain. I think Scott Woodward would like to see this play out, but he'd be on every hot seat list in America, and he still probably would need a vote of confidence at the end of this year to make it work after they put together all this money. I mean, $1 million of his own money Brian Kelly spent for this roster, and it's shaping up to be one of the more disappointing teams in college football, especially if they lose at home to Texas A&M. We have not seen a visiting team win this game since the Kevin Sumlin era back in 2016. So that would sting even more for LSU, knowing that A&M would be sitting there at 8-0 with a Brian Kelly disciple in Mike Elko when they had to pay $76 million, and here they would be at 8-0 in an ideal spot to be able to make it to the college football playoff, which everybody assumed that was just kind of imminent for this LSU team. So this is bad. It's going from bad to worse, and it's hard to really see a path right now for this LSU team to kind of weather the storm given what's ahead on that schedule.
All right, Connor, as a former Cane, I'm going to petition that we have no more Friday night games after a bye. Because right now we're over.
Yeah.
Over.
Yep. Man, you could kind of see it coming, too, with the Jeff Brom angle. And just kind of know, and look, you've experienced this more than I have. Of all the things to do Friday night in Miami, and I realize that we're not talking about a stadium that is in Miami, but of all the things that one can do on a Friday night, maybe let's just say that atmosphere wasn't going to be geared up in the same way that you would hope a vintage Miami atmosphere would be. And Jeff Brom loves just beating top 5, top 10 teams. That was a Miami team that, look, I think needed to have a game like that. There's a very good chance that Miami could still be part of the national championship picture, and you'd be hard-pressed to find a team in the trenches as good as Miami is right now, maybe with the exception of Ohio State. but there's still going to be moments this year wherein the eventual national champion is going to look bad. And maybe that's that moment for Miami. And we look back and go, oh, well, they kind of figured out what didn't work. Carson Beck was throwing all these interceptions, and they were able to kind of figure out their offense from this point forward and kind of what it's like to actually have that right mindset week in, week out. But it was a really tough showing. I mean, maybe it's just a testament to Miami that they still had a chance to win with how bad it was for Carson Beck. But, yeah, this is going to be kind of the looming cloud for Mario Cristobal.
All right, we're wrapping it up with Connor O'Gara from Saturday Down South. Connor, one more thing, and I want you to think long and hard about this. Ole Miss has to go into Oklahoma this weekend. It's a big game. That's a big game for both of them. Both teams, both coaches, both teams trying to get into the college football playoff. Ole Miss loses that game. Does it finally start to click with Lane Kiffin that maybe I can't win it big like I think I can here?
You know, there's an interesting stat that not enough people talk about. It's the exact stat that's preventing Lane Kiffin from being considered a Tier 1 coach in our sport. And it's something that Florida fans are not paying attention to as they say that Lane Kiffin is worth a blank check. He is 1-10 against AP top 25 teams in true road games at Ole Miss. And the one win was in 2023 against Tulane, who didn't even have Michael Pratt in that game, and they had a backup quarterback. So he has yet to beat a power conference team that is ranked in the AP Top 25 in a true road game since he's been at Ole Miss. Now, this game against Oklahoma, top 25 team that, in my opinion, was able to figure out some really important things with their ground game in that performance against South Carolina. And I do think that this is a daunting matchup for what that Oklahoma defense can do to a Trinidad Chambliss, to a guy in Trinidad Chambliss who has answered every question Lane could have possibly asked. But here's a question that I would ask. Last year, did they not have a top 3, top 5 roster in college football? And couldn't Lane look internally with the reasons why he wasn't able to win and make it to the college football playoff and perhaps go on a run? Because that team was talented. They had the defense. They had the dudes on offense. They had the first-round quarterback. They had everything.
Great point.
They just didn't have the ability to finish. So I would still wonder if I'm Lane Kiffin, well, is this maybe just a me issue? And I need to be able to figure that whatever that coaching issue is, I don't know that all of a sudden changes at Florida, because that's the thing that's still holding him back from being considered a top 3, top 5 coach in the sport.
All right, I lied to you. And because you tell me this all the time when on your podcast when you say I lied to you and you want one more question, I'm going to give you one more because there's some Gamecock fans in our area. And let me tell you something, man. Cocky's on the verge of losing 5 or 6 in a row. And your good boy, Shane Beamer, that's not going to sit well there.
No, it's not. $28 million to fire a coach, though, who just got an extension in January from this very boss. Probably not getting fired. I think the question that I'm asking, and it's something that you talk about, coming on my show and all the rules that I create. I had Brad Crawford come on my show and explain kind of what led to his very interesting weekend of talking about Shane Beamer potentially going to Virginia Tech. And if that situation is a little bit more favorable for him than the rebuild that he's going to face at South Carolina, because Lenore Sellers is going to be off to the NFL. They're going to have to pay a very pretty penny to prevent Dylan Stewart probably from leaving and pulling the Quinshon Judkins pre-draft thing and leaving the smaller program for the bigger program. And it's all of a sudden looking like, man, this is not going any way that he thought it would with a preseason top 15 team. It's rough, and it doesn't look like it's getting better. The Mike Shula thing has been a huge swing and miss, and it's been so bad. Like, they're having protests on campus to try and figure out, like, to try and voice their support to fire him. Like, this is not good at all. My guy Shane Beamer has not had the year that I thought he would, and there could be some very tough conversations that are had in the very near future in Columbia.
All right, brother. Fantastic stuff. Really appreciate you, man. It's Connor O'Gara from Saturday Down South. Thanks, man.
Gentlemen, appreciate it.
All right, we need to go to break. We're going to get back into college football. I want to get deep into the Noles, okay? We're going to get deep into the Noles. We're going to do some Jag stuff as well in the second hour. Come on back. It's XLP.
XL Primetime, driven by Duval Ford Mobile Service. Game-ready service right to your driveway. 1010XL is your home for play-by-play on Bishop Kenny football.
After a 4-week win streak, the Crusaders get ready for the Wolverines, hungry for their first victory. Bishop Kenny Westside, Friday at 7 on 92.5 FM.
Hi, I'm Mac with Baker Glass. If you've got fogged up windows, let me help. We'll replace them with clear, insulated units that brighten up your home. People say we're fast, friendly, and reliable. Just check out our Google reviews. Call me today. Baker Glass. No one treats you better.
Northeast Florida Auto, Power Sports, and RV dealers. Tom McMahon is here for Dealer Connect. The nation's #1 AI conference for dealers is coming to Jacksonville October 29th and 30th at the Marriott Sawgrass in Ponte Vedra Beach. It's 2 days of tackling the future of AI in automotive with some of the industry's biggest names. Keynote speaker, Hall of Famer Joe Theismann will autograph items to benefit the Tom Coughlin J Fund. Get tickets now at DealerConnect2025.com. That's DealerConnect2025.com.
This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On October 23rd, 2000, the New York Jets put together an improbable comeback with 4 touchdowns and a field goal in the fourth quarter, which was dubbed the Monday Night
Hey,
Hero.
Jacksonville, Rick Ballou here. Looking for a brand new truck? Right now, Crew Cab Ram trucks start at just $38,900 at Jacksonville Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram West Side. And every new retail purchase comes with a lifetime powertrain warranty and no extra cost. From tough Ram trucks to adventure ready Jeeps, they've got the perfect ride waiting for you. Stop by Commonwealth Avenue or shop online at jackswest.com. Jacksonville Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram West Side, proud partner of the Jaguars.
It's the fall savings event going on now at Renewal by Anderson. Upgrading your home has never been easier. Get 20% off replacement windows and patio doors. Plus, no money down, no payments, and no interest for 12 months. This offer expires October 31st. Renewal by Anderson, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free consultation.
License number CGC 1527613.
Jacksonville, it's football season, and Duck Duck Rooter is proud to be on your home team. As a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, we tackle plumbing, septic, and air conditioning problems with championship-level service. Call 904-862-6769 or visit duckduckrooter.com.
Hey, gang, Prosser here. When it comes to selling your home, you think you got problems? Well, I got promises. Chad and Sandy do. Jacksonville homes are selling, but it can take months and a low price to sell. Not anymore. You go with Chad and Sandy Newman, the experts that I recommend. Proven systems. They drive demand for selling your home, and they have this guarantee. Bottom line, Chad and Sandy guarantee your home sold at an agreed-upon price and deadline, or they will buy it. That's why the local real estate experts that I'm trusting and recommending need to sell now. Chad and Sandy will have instant offers, fast, easy, and stress-free. Keith in Atlantic Beach said, I wanted to move my parents closer. They needed a lot of help getting their home ready for sale and finding a new one. Medical issues made things even more challenging. I called Chad and Sandy because I heard their stories on the radio. The Chad and Sandy team were compassionate, professional, got the job done. My folks' home sold the very first weekend for $1.2 million in cash. Call the local experts I'm recommending. Call Chad and Sandy today, 904-414-6200 or chadandsandy.com.
This football season, Hurricane Grill and Wings is your game day getaway. Catch every play with the perfect drink in hand. Handcrafted cocktails like the Millionaire Margarita, Spicy Guavarita, Old Fashioned, or the Red Bullerita. Beer more your style to watch the games? Enjoy an ice cold Bud Light. Game day cocktails and Bud Light specials are here all season long at Hurricane Grill and Wings. Find a restaurant near you at hurricanewings.com.
At the First Coast YMCA, you'll find much more than just a gym. We offer many ways to help you become more active, reach your weight loss goals, and find your inner strength. Membership at the Y includes state-of-the-art facilities, a huge variety of fitness classes, and programs for all ages. It's easy to join the Y since it's affordable for all incomes. The Y is a great place to make connections and experience something new. Visit the YMCA near you or online at fcymca.org.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. That just happened. Brought to you by Florida Home AC.
All right, more coming out of this FBI investigation. So the FBI announced that today that former Raptors player Jonte Porter was threatened to participate in an illegal gambling scheme that involved Terry Rozier, Chauncey Billups, and Damon Jones. So the illegal gambling operation spanned years across 11 states. In total, 30 individuals have been arrested, including 13 mafia members.
So all 3 NBA guys with connections to the NBA have connections within this scheme.
Yes.
Wow.
Well, you said threatened, so it sounded like
This other guy was threatened to participate, so they were like,
bro.
Yes. Well, I mean, here's another thing, too. And one of our buddies on the text line pointed this out. By the way, you can get involved 641-1010 on the text line brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. These guys are avoiding the IRS.
Which we should have thought of immediately.
Johnny Fed doesn't like that,
Yeah.
man.
I'm sure they filed.
They're winning.
That's part of the problem. I mean, the threatening violence and the extortion, that's probably a big deal too, you know.
But they really want their money.
It is.
You like your kneecaps, don't you?
This thing just gets worse.
I don't know who's the worst
and
mafia,
worse.
the federal government or these actual mafia members.
What's funny is when they were doing this with college basketball. Remember that 2 years ago when they started the feds got into college basketball and what was going on there? And I never thought that was a huge story. And I always thought everybody's just like ignoring this. You cannot ignore this. There's no way you can ignore this.
Just watch ESPN.
Yeah.
They're going to do
ESPN
a hell
will.
of a job. All of them. I mean, they're all in bed with these gambling companies.
Apparently.
And what do they want? They don't want this. And they're in bed with the NBA. So, like, Adam Silver's not going to want ESPN or NBC
I'll give you
or
an
whoever
anecdote.
they're working with to be just running story after story about how their league is fake.
Right. I'll give you a great anecdote. My buddy, who is a huge NBA fan, texted me about 20 minutes ago and said, by the way, ESPN did not carry Kash Patel's live press conference. Didn't carry it.
See, I'm not shocked by that.
Did not carry the Attorney General of the United States coming in with indictments on the NBA and ESPN, which basically runs all of sports coverage in this planet. Didn't take it live.
Well, because tonight they'll be running live Oklahoma City against the Pacers in a rematch of the NBA Finals. And then after that, we have Denver versus Golden State. So why try to ruin a good time by letting everyone know that the sport is potentially flawed and fake?
Makes sense to me.
Yeah.
NBA week.
I mean, honestly, if I ran a propaganda organization like ESPN, I wouldn't show it either.
I'm not sure you can say that, bro.
They're
Your
no
brother works
longer.
there.
They've never been in the camp of like reporting facts and stuff. That's been gone from ESPN. So why start now?
Well, it's clear what they're doing now. I mean, they're covering their they're covering their dime is what they're doing. They want to do everything they can to make sure their product that they've spent billions on in media rights
Is above board.
Well,
And people
not even
think it's
above
real.
board. They want to make sure that they can get it on and people watch it.
Yeah.
They don't care if it's on above board
True,
now. They
true.
could care less. They're avoiding it right now at this point. All right. We need to go to break. It was a quick one because I'm an idiot and I took too long. And JJ, you need to be more like my editor who just says you're writing too long, and then I just stop. So.
Well, Connor was a great interview.
All right, so let's go to a break. We'll come back on the other side. We're going to get into some football. I want to get into this whole Florida State nonsense with Mike Norvell. We're going to get into Leon and the Jags, and as a NFL football player, what's the mindset on bye week? Come back on the other side. It's XLP.
XL Primetime, driven by Duval Ford. Open the weekend early with Pre-Game Friday.
Anything you want to add to this?
Get the news, notes, and inside stuff you need to get ready for game day.
That's all I ever think about.
Pre-Game Friday.
Built by Dreamfinders Homes on 1010XL.
Hey, Jacksonville DDH. Dreamfinders Danny Hicken here with the scoop from Dreamfinders Homes, your national builder of the year. We've got first-year interest rates as low as 2.99% and homes in 20-plus communities throughout Northeast Florida. If you're house hunting, make sure your first pick Dreamfinders Homes, the proud official home builder of the PGA Tour, the Florida Gators, and your Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit DFHSalesEvent.com today and tell them Dreamfinders Danny sent you.
Josie for Hard Rock Bet. Hail Marys, QB draws, corner fades, it doesn't matter. When you bet on touchdowns with Hard Rock Bet, every game day can turn into a big payday. Pick your favorite player to find the end zone in Week 6 now. Last week, one bettor turned a $20 three-leg first touchdown scorer parlay into a massive $12,000 win. Are you next? Download the Hard Rock Bet app now.
Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
Start your Saturday with a whiff of the great outdoors.
Captain Kevin Favor here with Captain Kirk and Jeff Loggeman, and we bring you the fresh air of the great outdoors.
On the Nimnit Outdoors Show, presented by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic and Air Conditioning on 1010XL.
Taste it all for less with our Sonny's Originals, packed with your choice of proteins, 2 sides, and bread, starting at $16.99. That's why it's always Sonny's here. Sonny's Barbecue, local pitmasters since '68.
Home of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
I'm here with Danny Van Sickle, director of the Electrical Training Alliance. Danny, tell me about your program.
Hey, Rick, we're a 4-year electrical apprenticeship. Our students start out making over $40,000 a year and right now make over $90,000 a year, including benefits. There is no tuition or student debt. You just have to apply and get accepted.
Did you say no tuition and no student debt?
You heard that right, Rick. Once you're accepted to the program, your only cost for the books and the course fees, about $800 a year.
That sounds like an amazing opportunity. How can I learn more?
Just go to etajax.org and you can apply there.
Apply by November 6th.
DivorceMenOnly.com. This is Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Our firm specializes in representing men in family law. That's all we do. That's our only focus. We can help with all of your family law needs, such as divorce, custody, alimony, and child support. For over a decade, we have helped thousands of men with these types of issues. We even have an appellate division ready to challenge a judge's ruling. If you need a family law attorney, go to DivorceMenOnly.com. DivorceMenOnly.com. Offices, Jacksonville.
We're certainly facing interesting economic times. For me, it's comforting to know my money's in good hands with ITP Partners. Jacksonville guys taking care of my Jacksonville money. Experience? Yeah, that's Chris Bryan, Jeff Hartman, Reagan Wright, Dan Abel, Scott Regner, Janice Cobb, and Reed Wingate. They have the expertise and knowledge to take care of your money. For more info, go to itppartners.com. ITP Partners, they're my financial partners for life.
Non-compensated client testimonial may not be representative of all client experiences. No guarantee of future performance or success.
When you roll into a convenience store for some cold Bud Light, you want to make sure it's, well, cold. Check out the big coolers at Circle K. They make sure it's chilled and ready to go for the big game or party. Swing by Circle K and pick up some cold Bud Light.
Kuhn Flowers announces their home holiday decorating team is now taking orders for the holiday season. This is JJ with 1010XL. No more hassling with tree buying, untangling, and hanging burned out lights. Call on Kuhn Flowers, they'll do it all.
I'm with Greg from Cycles in Jacksonville. We always talk about Honda, Triumph, so many great bikes, but Aprilia from Italy is also a beautiful line.
It is absolutely gorgeous, and it is a fine sport bike. It's one that when you take your helmet off, you're never frowning. You're always smiling.
So if you want to treat yourself to something really special on the road, that's a line they should look into?
Absolutely, and we've got them in stock and ready to roll.
All right, make sure you check them out. They are on Atlantic near Regency. CyclesofJacksonville.com is a great place to go, or check out their Facebook page at Cycles of Jacksonville.
This is your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. I'm RJ Saunders for 1010XL. The Atlantic Coast Conference has announced that Florida State's homecoming game on November 1st against Wake Forest will be at 7:30 p.m. on the ACC network. Since 2012, the Seminoles have won 11 consecutive homecoming games. Right now, 74 degrees at 104, time and 10, brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. This is XL Primetime, brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
Who would ever thought we spent the first hour talking about the FBI director, like basically taking down the NBA? It's the best part is Leon's. Give us a little conspiracy music here, JJ, will you? Because Leon's got an interesting thought about this entire process, which now connects the three players with the mafia, three mafia families, in this web of stealing, lies, distortion, robbery.
Listen, my theory, I better not see it on Netflix a couple of years from now, all right? So my theory is this, that what if the NBA players who've had relationships with the mob are informants to bring the mob down and had to get arrested with everybody else, or they'll get kneecapped? They gone bye-bye is what I'm saying.
So they're pawns in this entire scheme.
Well, snitches, rats. That part.
All right, if we're gonna go down this road, I'm gonna go down an even more disturbing road. Okay, why not at this point, right? Because we are an entertainment show. We are an entertainment show. Unlike ESPN, that is originally supposed to be the entertainment and sports programming network. We are an entertainment show. We do this for fun for y'all. We give you some info. We go back and forth. You can get on the text line and go back and forth with us. We should have had the Bud Light pop-off line because that would have been classic for this. So the 534 on the text line brings up a fantastic point and brings us further down this rabbit hole. We are now we're there. We are Alice in Wonderland at this point, okay? He says, now I'm more seriously questioning the ESPN analytics and FPI that they're not shy to show on the app or in their coverage. What if ESPN's part of it?
How so? Like, what's their angle? What are they getting out of this? No, trust me, nobody wants to bury ESPN like me. But even though my brother works there, he could find another gig.
What if, not saying ESPN, but what if someone there within that FPI and what are they?
By the way, that is the worst college football ranking.
It's like the worst ranking ever.
It is
ever.
I don't get it.
Ever.
They release it every week.
2 days after Florida State beat the hell out of Alabama, they had Florida State at like 15 and Alabama at 2.
Okay, well that ended up being correct.
Ended up being true, correct.
But there's a lot. There's a lot way worse examples on that thing. But they release it like every week, and it gets so much crap on Twitter that I think it's fake that they do it for just engagement.
Or they're doing it for other reasons.
Maybe the mafia is the
nefarious
FBI.
or not. That's all I'm saying. All right, speaking of FSU, I've been dying to get into this because it's just I can't even wrap my mind around what FSU is trying to do, okay? Because I get they're struggling right now in football. I totally get it. I get that Norvell could lose next week to Wake Forest at home during homecoming. Wake Forest is a good team, by the way. They're 4-2 right now, and they should be 5-1. It's a very good team. Jake Dickert's a really good coach.
They had Georgia Tech beat if it wasn't for the refs.
The fake,
Speaking of Jake Dickert, he would be if Florida can't get what they want and they go down the road and they can't get people, Jake Dickert wouldn't be a bad hire. I'll tell you that right now. Anyway,
they place SMU before Florida State.
They do.
To this weekend.
Okay. So,
fun fact.
So, the 11-game win streak at homecoming could end. So I get the nervousness. I totally get it. All right? But we're not that far away, maybe, 8 months, 9 months, from FSU crying they have no money. They have to leave the ACC. They don't have any money. If they're at a competitive disadvantage with the other football playing schools in the South, not only the state of Florida, but in the South, where they recruit. They have to leave the ACC. They have to go to the Big Ten or the SEC, even though they didn't have an invite from either one of those conferences. They have to leave. They need a better deal from the ACC because they don't have money. Maybe they just don't know how to budget it. Because you're talking about a football program now that has spent $240 million on stadium renovations, $155 million on a football standalone facility. Okay, that puts you over $400 million. Now you're telling me you're going to spend $70 to make Norvell and his staff go away. Spend another $7 because if you make Norvell and his staff go away, you're not hiring John Sumrall. You're hiring some legit dude. You have to. You cannot hire a guy that you're going to pay $3 million or $5 million a year. You got to hire a dude
like James Franklin.
Someone like that. You're going to have to hire a dude. You're going to have to go get Marcus Freeman. Like you're going to have to pay for this guy who you're going to hire. Okay, that's going to be another 70, and depending on who you hire, let's say you get Marcus Freeman, that's going to be 90. The total deal with him and his staff would be 90. Okay. Now you're talking over $625 million you have spent on football in the last 2 years. You could have spent that money and got out of the ACC 2 years ago when you first started that thing. They wanted over $500 million. Remember, it was $500 million. Remember that number?
Yeah.
Think about that. You're going to spend that kind of. So let's just leave it just coaching, okay? Just coaching. Let's say you want to go get Marcus Freeman. You're going to spend $160 million to make a coaching change?
Yeah, we're not even talking about the money they spent for their awful quarterbacks the last 2 years.
Oh,
are you really going to do that? Are we really at this point in college sports now where a university is going to spend $160 million to make a coaching change? Is that what they're going to do? Because they knew what he was. Even when they were 13-0, and I'm going to be very completely honest here. With Jordan Travis, they could have won the national title. They could have beat Michigan. Okay? You knew what he was because once Jordan Travis got hurt, and then once they were forced to play in that Orange Bowl without not only Jordan Travis, but with those players that opted out that were going to the NFL, that they're great players. The team that played on the field that day against Georgia was the team in 2024 plus another transfer portal class. They lost by 60. They lost by an 8-possession game. So you knew who he was. You knew how he built the roster. It was a house of cards. You cannot build a roster at that level on transfer portal only. You can't. You have to build it organically. And say what you want about Billy Napier. Florida sucks, okay? There's no doubt about it. But he built it the right way. And the next guy who comes in is going to have a talented roster that was built organically through high schools and was supplemented through the portal. So Florida State knew what they had with Mike Norvell, yet when allegedly, and I'm saying allegedly, okay, Alabama was interested in him. And by the way, Greg Byrne is a really sharp cat, the AD at Alabama. He's not following the greatest coach in the history of the planet with Mike Norvell, okay? He's not. So this is just it's another masterclass by Jimmy Sexton. And I love the guy because he does right by his clients. There's no doubt about it. So FSU panicked and gave Norvell, a guy who they saw what his roster building is. They knew what it was. A 10-year deal worth over $80 million. What did they think they were going to get? What did they think they were going to get? They had a rare generational, I hate using that word, generational type player at quarterback with Jordan Travis in his final season. Everything clicked. Every move they made in the portal clicked. Okay? They go to 13-0, and yes, absolutely they could have won it all. But that thing was a house of cards, and now they're paying for it.
Oh, well, isn't it okay for them to say we messed up and we're going to spend the money to get the right guy this time?
Sure. If you want to spend 160 or 70 million, sure.
Ball matters, bro. Ball matters at any expense.
But this is the program that said they didn't have any money, remember? They couldn't, it wasn't
That's
sustainable.
True. That's true.
What was going on in college sports right now. It wasn't sustainable, Leon.
Well, they're going to find the cash now.
Well, I mean, they're going to have to find the cash. And it's not, I mean, I'm kind of focusing on FSU because they are a local team. LSU's in the same boat. LSU gave Brian Kelly a 10-year, $90 million contract.
LSU didn't go 2-10 last
They
year.
didn't. There's no doubt they didn't. But let me tell you something.
LSU might
very
not
close
go
to going
winless the rest of the season, like Florida State might.
If they didn't have like that annual November cupcake game, they might. I'll tell you that right now. I'm not kidding. I mean,
they might beat the number 3 team in the nation this week.
They could, but the way they're playing, they also could lose to A&M, lose at Alabama. They could lose to Arkansas. It's a rivalry game. Arkansas can score points. They can't score points. Then they get Western Kentucky, the annual cupcake game. Then they got to play at Oklahoma. So, yes, they could win this week. They could also finish 6-6.
And that'll be 3 more wins than Florida State will end up with.
Florida State's going to end up with 5 or 6. Come on, man.
You think they'll make a bowl game this year?
I think they will.
Wow.
I think they're going to I think they'll get 3 wins out of their summer.
Well, listen, in the beginning of the season, I wish them that they doubled the wins from last year.
And they're close.
They're close. They're on pace.
See, the worst thing that could have happened to them was winning that Alabama game. That was the absolute worst thing.
They really started smelling their own farts.
Yeah, it's not only that. They went from, okay, let's just get to 6 or 7 wins and we'll build this thing back. He's going to start recruiting high schools. We're going to get this thing back the right way.
Straight to, we're going to the playoff.
And after that first win, it was, we're going to the damn playoff. Yeah. And if we don't go to the playoff, he's out.
Everything is fixed. We fixed everything. Last year didn't even count.
And it's still a house of cards. Look at their high school recruiting. They struggle to recruit high school.
Right now, this year, it's actually not bad.
Now it's not.
It's
right
next to Miami and Florida. I think they're all like pretty bunched up. If you go by 247 rankings, I think they're like 12, 13, and 14.
What you're talking about a program that historically has been among the top 6, 7, 8 in the
and
country.
Mike's been there for how long? He should have been doing this.
Yes, he should have all these guys. He should.
Like how Mario has the Baines of the world and, the Malachi Tonys of the world.
Right.
And Billy has what's the new wide receiver? Wilson,
Dallas Wilson,
and
yeah.
DJ. Like, who are these guys at Florida
There's
State?
none of those guys at Florida State. That's the problem. I mean, Hakeem Williams, I guess, is like the biggest recruit, the receiver who ended up being nothing, who ended up being a nothing player. And it's strange to me because Florida State, if anybody has the ability to recruit at a really high level, they've got one of the best benefits of any school anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
They've got fam right across the street.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's it.
Well, here's the problem when it comes to the portal and being recruited, because the kids that are recruited by teams like Florida State, Miami, and Florida, they've wanted to be with those teams forever since they were little. The guys that come in through the portal, they're trying to cash in, and they're looking down the road to the professional football. So I'm saying
when the wheels come off,
so the wheels
they
come out,
really
they don't have no
Yeah.
connection. They don't have their hearts. They don't have any connection to the university because they're there to get more exposure so they can go to the league. These cats that come in through recruiting, they probably were kids that wanted to be with these teams since they were little. So their heart's in it.
Right, and they're more invested. Yes.
Yeah, they're more invested.
And that's, again, say what you want about Billy Napier, and he's a terrible coach. Look, that's the reality. If you're 22 and 23 at Florida, you're a terrible coach. The worst coach there since the 1940s. He at least built it the right way. There's at least, that defense is really good. Offensively, they've got 5 or 6 or 7 guys on offense that can stress people. Whoever gets that job, that's why I think it's going to be very tempting for Lane Kiffin to say no. There's a lot there, a lot going on there that you could walk right in there and the right guy could win big right away there. So that's what's going to be tempting for Lane Kiffin. That's what would be tempting for Marcus Freeman. That's what's going to be tempting for a lot of guys they try and get. All right, we need to go to break. We're going to get more into this college football. I want to get Leon's thoughts on the bye week as a player in the NFL, and we'll, of course, circle back to this gambling and ESPN and the NBA. See how I threw ESPN in there, JJ? It's XLP.
XL Primetime.
Driven by Duval Ford. Enlighten your college knowledge before the games begin.
I'm RJ Saunders. We'll break down players, games, and storylines
On the Bueller Air and Plumbing College Kickoff.
served up by Sonny's Barbecue.
Friday night at 6 on 1010XL.
Tired of roofers who never answer the phone and just use AI?
I'm Morgan Conley, the People's Roofer. I answer every call. No robots, no runaround. I'm born here, built here, staying here. Visit MorganConleyRoofing.org.
I've been having knee problems for probably 6 months, and my knee was getting worse, and I had heard about Southeast Orthopedics on the radio, and I gave them a call. They got me right in. Dr. Kevin Murphy did it. It was painless, and it's been doing fantastic. This is Patrick Malarkey, and I highly recommend Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Relieve pain and get back to life. SOS. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Get more Gators with Dan Hickett and me, Frank Frangie, on all things Gators on 1010XL Gators Podcast, with new episodes every Monday, brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, wherever you find podcasts and at 1010XL.com.
This is Hayes Carlion, here from a driver who made the smart move to buying a vehicle from Atlantic Infinity.
Hayes, this is my second Infinity, so I knew exactly what I wanted, and Atlantic Infinity made it so easy for me. The GM Dwayne had my new ride ready to go, and I was in and out of the dealership in about 30 minutes. The Atlantic Infinity promise just sealed the deal for me. It's $2,500 in added value, including roadside assistance. I am so happy with my new car.
Atlantic Infinity, Atlantic, near St. John's Bluff.
Daly's Dash is not only your Jaguars game day stop, but a great place to grab a meal any day of the week. To honor the Jags and the fans, we've crafted the Duval Sub. The Duval comes with freshly sliced turkey ham, melted cheddar and habanero jack cheese, topped with crisp lettuce, fresh tomatoes, and a double portion of our secret sauce, all served on a fresh roll. Come by your local's Daly's Dash today to get your delicious Duval Sub. Daly's is the official convenience store sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Hey, David again here with Royal Pest Services. It's that time of year when rodents start making their way into our homes. Layson, tell them what they need to get in.
A quarter-size hole.
That's right. That's all they need. Hey, tell them where to go for a free attic and exterior inspection.
Visit RoyalPestServices.com.
Quality work is sometimes hard to come by these days, and if you want quality and a fence that'll last, make the call to Duval. Duval Fence, that is. A good Jacksonville company with good Jacksonville people committed to quality service. If you need a fence for your home or a business, anything, just call Duval Fence at 260-4747. Give them an idea of what you're looking for, and they'll take care of the rest. Property fence, privacy fence, pool, or pets. Make sure you call Duval Fence today.
Strap in, Duval. The Jaguars are gearing up to face the Los Angeles Chargers Sunday, November 16th for our annual Salute to Service game. Join us as we honor and celebrate the brave men and women of our military all game long. Secure your seats now and be a part of the action by visiting jaguars.com/tickets or call 904-633-2000. Let's stand together, Duval.
Hear the Florida Gators all season on 1010XL. Unlocked by Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors. The law firm of Farah and Farah and Randy Marion Cadillac of Jacksonville. Go Gators!
Hey, this is Tom McManus. If you get injured out there, there's only one number to call. Pound Law, that's all. Slip and fall, car wreck, wrongful death. It doesn't matter. Morgan & Morgan handles it all. They're the largest in the country. 100 offices, over 1,000 attorneys. $20 billion recovered for 500,000 clients. That's the kind of team I want. If you get hurt from someone else's wrongdoing, check out Morgan & Morgan. ForThePeople.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. We know what cool sounds like. XL's Primetime. But what does it feel like? Find out at FloridaHomeAC.com. 1010XL.
I'll tell you what it feels like right now. Man, I'll tell you what.
For the love of money.
There's two things that the world revolves around. And it's not even up for debate. The world, everything, every problem in the world, every good thing in the world, all revolves around this. I shouldn't say every good thing. Every problem in the world revolves around these two things. Money, and we all know the other one.
Florida State football.
That just happened. Brought to you by Florida Home AC.
No, of course we know what the other one is. All right, this is from Rachel Nichols, who covers the NBA. The FBI, is alleging that Chauncey Billups and Damon Jones were involved in rigged poker games that went way beyond counting cards. Poker chip trays with hidden cameras, special contact lenses to read pre-marked cards, and X-ray tables that read cards while they were face down.
Okay.
The fix was in for so they would sucker these former players or friends or whatever to come over to these poker games, and the guys they were playing against had X-ray tables that read the cards while they were face down, contact lenses to read pre-marked cards.
Wait a second.
So they were getting people in there and just robbing them.
Wait 1 second. Are you telling me? I thought they were bringing the former players in as a lure to get other people to come in and play the game.
Oh, maybe that too.
If you're telling me they brought former players with a lot of money in to steal their money,
they probably did both.
Yeah, they did both, bro.
Bro, that's nasty is what that is.
Why was it any different if it's
because
civilians?
then you're taking money from your own people, man.
Oh, these
from
players
your
don't all love each other, bro. It's not.
I don't think that's what it is. I think it's they were using like Chauncey Billups would. I'm not even going to say a name because then people say, "Oh, hey, said it was this guy." I think it's Chauncey Billups was getting former players to play at a table of like 8 or 10 guys, so you'd have 1 or 2 former players, probably one at every table. Hey, why don't you want to go play poker with Joe Coward, the 10-time NBA All-Star? He goes and sits at the table. He doesn't know what's going on. He's just been told he's going to be given $100,000 to play poker with these guys. Right?
Either way, this wasn't just a game
so what
between
they were doing,
friends.
This is my point. The guys that were coming into play weren't just like me and you. They probably brought millionaires into play. Millionaires. That's how they made their money. This wasn't just like, hey, let's get J.J. LaSelva to come play. There had to be some kind of Do you want to play with Joe Coward? It's going to cost you. It's a $500,000 buy-in.
Yeah, but if it's
and you play
former players, they have just as much money too. I mean, they could have been scamming former
I know that,
players
but my point
too.
is, you never underestimate the jock sniffer. Okay, never.
Yeah.
Because there are dudes out there that all they want to do is be around athletes.
Right.
That's all they want to do.
And they want to beat them.
Yeah, and they have all kind of money and they don't care. That's what I bet this was. My guess is they were using like a guy at a table, like probably had like 3 or 4 tables. They had 3 or 4 former players that Billups got in there, that they were sitting at the table with 6 or 7 or 8 other guys. They're playing Hold'em. They're counting cards, and these 6 or 7 other wealthy guys don't know it. And they're losing their ass, and they don't even know it. And at the end of the day, they don't care because, all right, I got to play poker with so-and-so. And they just count it as a loss. All right, well, I walk out $1 million less, but, I got to play poker with Joe Coward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I think. I might be wrong, but as I'm trying to read these tea leaves, I think it's that. Now, if it's what you say it is, JJ.
I think it's both.
If you say that,
I don't think these
the
former players
were
knew
in on
either.
it,
They might have been lured to lure other people, but I don't think that they were letting the former players know that this whole thing is rigged.
Yeah, because if you got a ring, you're not letting everybody in on the ring.
That's how you get caught by the feds.
Right.
Like right now.
Yeah,
but if you've got
it's probably like a very few, a very limited number of people that even knew that this stuff was happening.
Wait, so you're telling me that when they brought these their buddy, I don't know if they were buddies, colleagues, we'll call them, they were stealing from them too?
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked.
Man,
Leon was just telling a story about how a guy was
low
stealing
down
from his
and
own
nasty.
teammates in the locker room.
I know it is.
Wearing a chain right in front of him.
I know it is. You know what? Tell that story again real quick, Leon, because now it's more apropos. Because now that I'm looking at it through a different lens, that is low down and nasty, man, is what that is.
Oh, my teammate in college came in. I'm not going to say his name. He used to go in our dorms and steal food out of our refrigerators. All right. Take our shirt out of the closet, that kind of stuff. And he would lie about it. All right. So not only was a thief, he was a lying thief.
And that's just in front of your face. Steve.
Yeah.
So if you're doing it on a poker table and the other guy doesn't know it's happening, I mean, of course they'd be willing to do that. Wow. Looks like the Trailblazers are looking for a new coach.
I'm trying to figure out why are you so surprised that players do that to other players? Because it's players that sleep with other players,
man. Yeah, it's true.
Sleep with other players' wives and girlfriends.
See what I'm saying?
About?
I told you this. The 2 things, man. It's money and that. That's the 2 things that are every problem in the world. Yeah. Because they both involve power. It's all about power. Yeah. It's wow. I'm actually just shocked. Now that I see it through that lens that JJ just threw out there, that these guys are actually doing it to their former co-workers, I guess is the best way to say it. But the fact that they're luring these more than likely millionaires into their tables to play at these tables, and just say that again, what they were. Say it was a camera.
So some of the guys had contact lenses that would, I guess, only if you were wearing the contact lens, could you look at that particular card and tell what the card is. Like, so there was some marking on it, that you could only see if you had a contact lens on it. Also, there was X-ray tables that you could see. You have your card flipped down, but they can see through the table, or whatever. And then the other one was poker chip trays with cameras on them. So I don't know how that works, but. This was this wasn't exactly a game with your pals.
No.
The back porch.
This is the Gambino families. They can't make money anywhere else, so now this is it.
Yeah, I haven't heard about the Mafia in a really long time. Right. It's good to see that they're back. And working together, all 3 families.
Right, that's the craziest part is all 3 are together in cahoots with this thing.
As an Italian American, it's good to know that we still have a little bit of power.
All right, Leon. All right, JJ, do I need to go to a break here?
We do.
All right,
it's actually right at break time.
All right, I promise you we are getting into the Jags and what it's like to be a player in the bye week. Come on back. It's XLP.
XL Primetime, driven by big #1 Duval Ford, the #1 place to buy your next vehicle.
Big moment.
Play-by-play is full of plot twists.
Did that just happen?
And high-octane drama.
And this game is tied.
Experience the most play-by-play sports on 1010XL.
Why wait for a reason to send flowers? Celebrate life's little wins, or just celebrate you. Stop into the showroom on Beach and Southside, or online at JacksonvilleFlowerMarket.com. Jacksonville Flower Market. We make every day bloom.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes. Basketball season is here, and you know what that means. Now you can mix and match football and basketball and win big with Prize Picks, where being right can get you paid on America's #1 daily fantasy sports app. All you do is pick more or less on at least 2 player stat projections and watch your winnings roll in. Pat Mahomes, more or less than 243 passing yards. Steph Curry, more or less than 26 points. It's just that simple, everybody. And here's the best part. Prize Picks offers an injury insurance reboot. If one of your players leaves the game in the first half and doesn't return, Prize Picks won't count it as a loss. Prize Picks is the only app that offers stacks, where you can pick the same player up to 3 times in the same lineup. And with Flex Play, you can double your money, even if one of your picks doesn't hit. And all Prize Picks withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. Download the Prize Picks app today, use promo code 1010XL, and get $50 in lineups instantly when you play $5 in lineups. That's promo code 1010XL to get $50 instantly in lineups when you play 5 in lineups. Prize Picks, it's good to be right.
It's holiday season and it's not too late to find the perfect spot to celebrate with your team. Fourscore is a place that brings the energy, where great food, craft drinks, and unreal vibes meet cutting-edge full-swing simulators. Don't play golf? Do not worry. With over 40 interactive games, Fourscore has something that everyone will enjoy. Perfect for company outings, birthdays, and even private events that go beyond the ordinary. With locations in historic San Marco and centrally located Gate Parkway, Fourscore is ready to make your next celebration unforgettable. Hit the easy button and book your event today at fourscoregolf.com.
Fall is here. The air is crisp. Football is on, and the perfect backyard atmosphere starts with a high-quality fireplace from CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living. Hey, it's Joe C. Imagine nights by the fire, cheering on your team, surrounded by friends and family. CSS can transform your outdoor space into the ultimate game day destination. Stylish, warm, and built for memories. With several wood, gas, and electric options, let CSS make your backyard the best seat in the house. Visit CSSFireplaces.com.
With Lee and Kate's Glass, you're gonna see a big difference.
Frank Frangie for Lee and Kate's Glass, still family owned and in business for 100 years. When they say you're going to see a big difference, that's for everything. Custom showers and spas, tabletops, mirrors, even replacing foggy windows, all at a more affordable price. And with your satisfaction absolutely guaranteed, Lee and Kate's Glass is your best choice. Visit LeeandKatesGlass.com.
With Lee and Kate's Glass, you're gonna see a big difference.
Hi, I'm Sean Monahan from Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach. Since 1977, we've been Jacksonville's local family jeweler with a beautiful selection of fine jewelry and certified diamonds. But we're also Jacksonville's leading buyer of gold, silver, and diamonds from the public. Gold has recently hit an all-time high at over $3,600 per ounce. Pay bills, buy something fun. Now is the time to sell your gold for cash and get top dollar, or trade it in for a new piece and get even more value at Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach.
Hey, this is Lauren Brooks. With over 1,700 5-star Google reviews, it was a no-brainer to have Closets by Design help us get organized at home. They create custom storage for every space, lifestyle, and budget. From closets to garages to laundry rooms and more. Closets by Design will transform clutter into seamless organization. Call today to schedule a free in-home consultation and get 40% off plus an extra 15% off with free installation, but only until October 31st. 18-month financing is available. Call 904-878-9393 or visit closetsbydesign.com.
San Jose Collision is hiring for an automotive detailer and porter. If you're detail-oriented, dependable, and love working with cars, apply in person at San Jose Collision in Mandarin. Valid driver's license required.
1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Now, the cool down from the cool guys at Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing. Fast, reliable, and honest service since '87.
All right, my takeaway is that these alleged charges on these basketball players, man. Dude, I gambled when I was in the league, but nothing like this, none of this sort. This technology and glasses and stuff like that. We was amongst friends and got high. I mean, the table, the money got high, but You know,
We never cheated.
Never cheated. That's what I'm trying to make the point.
We're all man's men.
Yeah,
Yes,
you know,
we're all
we
men.
played
We're
games.
not gonna
Yeah, we
cheat
played.
each other.
Yeah, we played Boo-Ray. We play all these different games. You know, after games on the plane in the locker room, the stakes got kind of high. Well, I'm gonna tell you something about athletes. I mean, we compete at everything: on the field, in the weight room, off the field, cars, that kind of stuff. So, man, this is a new age of cheating. That disgusts me, to be quite frank.
It's nasty.
It is. We're using all high-tech stuff, glasses and market cards and stuff like that. Is it that important to win, JJ? You just let me know. Is it that important that they win?
Well, I think they were being blackmailed or something.
100%.
At some point they got into it because they were friendly with him and there was they were making money, and then it probably got darker and darker and they got in too deep. And at that point, you're
blackmailed.
Yeah. So I don't know.
The mafia's.
That's how it works.
It's kind of their playbook, right?
Yeah, if
They
you're on the
get you in
books,
deep and then they
if you're on the books, you got to do what they say.
Yeah. All right, my takeaway is just disturbing as that was. I just had another disturbing moment that I won't even get into.
Don't share
JJ
that.
laughing. I don't even need
That's
to get into.
It's an inside office joke. Don't go there.
It's I'm disturbed by the fact that Florida State's thinking about paying $170 million. It's golly, it blows my mind. And it's not just Florida State. I'm not singling that. It's not unique to them. It's everywhere. Florida's getting ready to pay. Let's see. I mean, they're giving Napier 21 to walk away, plus the staff, so that's probably 25. All right. They're going to have to pay at least another 70 to 80 for another coach and his staff. So that's $100 million to make a change. I mean, what's LSU going to do if it gets too hot for Brian Kelly? So this is now all over the place. And the one thing I want to make very clear after all of this, what's going on in college football and this quick trigger coach situation, I don't ever want to hear another coach or another athletic director or another conference commissioner or another university president say, it's unsustainable the way we have to pay players. It's just unsustainable. The whole model, it's going to ruin college football. Never, ever, ever say that again. Never. Because it's all just a joke. All of it. All of it. All right. I promised you we'd get into this, and now here we are. Sirs, it's bye week for the Jags. It's crazy. We've gone an hour and 40 minutes now without talking about the Jags. It's a bye week for the Jags. As a player, what is the mindset in a bye week, especially if you're – and again, I know you weren't on team. You were earlier in your career with the Jags. You were on teams that struggled. What's the mindset of a team that's struggling a little bit as a player? What's your mindset in this week, in this off week?
Well, I mean, it's a little different nowadays than it was when I was a Jaguar because these players collectively bargained that during the bye week they get 3 days off. So they get 3 days off. My time with TC, if we went down the stretch in the bye and we struggled, we worked. Right. We got back to business. We put the pass back on. We worked fundamentals, techniques, probably would scrimmage a little bit, get after, and then probably we had the weekend off. These guys got 3-day vacations for getting beat down for the last 2 weeks.
I mean, they literally
you don't think it was deserved.
Well, no, I mean, they literally have like 3 days off, right?
Yeah,
like they're like,
absolutely.
all right, we'll see you in 3 days.
It's mandatory. Yeah, it's mandatory collectively bargained that they get 3 days off. And probably, I would assess that these guys with their 3 day off, they probably got away with the families, went somewhere, had vacation, and then came back and went back to work. That's what I would think they would do with the 3 days. That didn't exist in my time in there. TC, if we struggled doing before the bye, we worked. We put the pads on. Especially if we were winning, then he would be a little bit more lenient if we got to the bye. But if we were losing and there was a stretch where we lost maybe 1 or 2 straight, then we went back to work, bro. Absolutely.
So if you're Josh Hines Allen, and we're 7 games into this thing, you got to have a sack. I don't care about pressures. I'm tired of hearing about pressures with him. Pressure rate, whatever you want. If you have half a sack, what do you like? When you're looking in the mirror in the morning, what are you saying to yourself?
Well, I mean, listen, I would hope that everybody on this team, although they're 4-3, and they had 2 games where they got annihilated, I would hope that everybody on this team will reassess if they're doing enough. They got to do some soul search. You got to be honest with yourself. You can't lie to yourself. There's nobody on this team right now that can say they're playing elite football. Even Travis Hunt, even though he had nobody's playing elite football.
No one.
So you got to reassess yourself. Whatever it is you think you've done thus far is not enough because is not amounting to W's. And I said this yesterday. There's incompetence at all levels on this team, at the quarterback position, at the offensive line with the receivers dropping balls,
Right.
the D-line who can't get any pass rush, and the back end that can't cover. I mean, so no one is exempt. Everybody should be trying to get better moving forward if you're going to help. And you got to look at it like this: it's a 10-game season. All right, a lot of these games that are down the stretch are winnable, but not winnable with the way we played the last 2 weeks. I mean, I couldn't put them. I couldn't favor them against a lot of the teams that they got to play down the stretch because of what I've seen the last 2 weeks. Now, maybe after Monday night, I would have said, okay, after Monday night against Kansas City, yeah, but not the last 2 weeks. This team is just for whatever reason they've faltered, and the penalties and the mistakes are an outliner of what this team is really all about moving into the bye.
I almost feel like, and I think you've told me this a couple times prior too, that the NFL is kind of is like a ramp up to amp up league. Like it's the roller coaster where you're slowly going up, but you're steadily improving. You get to the top, and then once you've hit your peak, then what you're doing is all downhill after that. I don't know where this team is in that concept or where they think they are.
Well, here's what I did when I played. I could always assess what kind of team we were, if we were a contender or a pretender. And I was on playoff teams every year I started. So I could always assess the month of November. If you're not playing your best ball, you can forget about it. You're not going to make playoffs. The month of November is where all these different teams are jockeying for positions. All right, that's where you set the table, and that's when you eat. The month of November, the teams that win in November usually carry over in December,
Yeah,
and then
setting up the big month.
and then they're ready. They're ready to rock and roll in January.
Right.
So I'm gonna know a lot about this team in the next 4 weeks and in the games they play, if they're really contenders or they're pretenders.
All right, we need to go to break. We'll come back to the other side and finish this thing up. It's XLP.
XL Primetime from the big #1 Duval Ford Studios.
It's your boy Big Sirs, All-Pro lineman, and your lemon pepper guy. Nothing screams game day like Wingstop. But get this, every Saturday and Sunday this football season, score big with Wingstop's special deal. Order a 75-piece wing pack online at wingstop.com or the Wingstop app using promo code JAX15. And that's $15 off. Carry out or delivery, it's your call. Use online promo JAX15 or $15 off a 75-piece wing pack. Fire up your game day order this weekend with Wingstop.
My dad, Randy Marion, has been in business for 35 years.
35 years of taking great care of your customers.
And our community. It has also been 35 years that my dad has been the king of price.
Yep.
So now's the time to fall into savings and drive in style in a brand new Cadillac.
At Randy Marion Cadillac, drive the all-new electric Optique, Lyric, and Vistique. They're all in stock and ready to drive today.
Come see us today at Randy Marion Cadillac, Southside Boulevard in Jacksonville.
And don't forget,
tell them Jennifer sent ya.
Plus tax type title $9.99 admin fee and resistol on approved credit.
The World Poker Tour is here at Best Bet Jacksonville through November 18th. Now is your time to become a World Poker Tour champion with 14 poker tournaments, including the Best Bet Scramble, a $5,000 buy-in, no-limit hold'em main event with a $1 million guaranteed prize pool. Win your way in through satellites happening now. For the full World Poker Tour schedule and more information, visit bestbetjacks.com. That's bestbetjacks.com.
I'm with Greg from Cycles of Jacksonville, and the fall part of the year just offers so much fun, especially when you're out and about. Tell everybody what's happening with Triumph right now.
They have got a lot of new models on the road, from Scrambler 400s. They've got the legendary Rocket motorcycle. Lots of really cool bikes to choose from.
And the price point and all the tricks that come with the Triumph bike, they're all there.
They're all there. Entry level to the greatest of the great. We've got them.
Look for them online, cyclesofjacksonville.com. Check out the Facebook page or that showroom on Atlantic near Regency.
What if you could pull up to $500,000 in cash out of your home and drop your mortgage rate to 4.99% APR? Hey, Prosser here, and right now at Loan Pronto, they've got the lowest rates in 3 years. With Loan Pronto's rapid equity loan, you can get your cash in as little as 3 days, pay off all those high-interest credit cards, and even skip your next 2 house payments. One client just got $300,000 approved in under 24 hours. Paid off their debt, paid off 2 car loans, saved $2,100 a month. One call, life change. There's no wait, no hard credit pull, You probably won't need an appraisal. Just fast, easy cash from your home's equity. Rates at a 3-year low. Act now. Call 914-999-1508 or visit loanpronto.com for your free instant home appraisal. See how much cash you can get today. Call 914-999-1508. See how much cash you can get today. You can also visit loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781. On approved credit, visit NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
Jaguar fans, Palm Beach Autographs is putting together a Fanatics exclusive with a chance for you to meet and get an autograph from Trevor Lawrence and Brian Thomas Jr. All the details are at palmbeachautographs.com. It's happening October 28th at Palm Beach Autographs in the Avenues Mall.
Learn the secrets to bring your A game on the Edwin Watts Golf Hour.
Yeah, well, you really crushed that ball off the tee, I'll tell you what.
Learn the latest on new equipment from all the major manufacturers on the Edwin Watts Golf Hour. Saturday morning at 10 on 1010XL.
Business owners, are you tired of getting the runaround from your plumbing or AC vendors? Fire them now and call Duck Duck Rooter. Duck Duck Rooter is the trusted partner for some of the largest commercial companies in Northeast Florida. From a professional accounting office that makes contracts and invoicing seamless to highly skilled field technicians who fix the problems fast, they handle it all. Make the smart move today with Duck Duck Rooter. Call 904-862-6769. 904-862-6769. Duck Duck Rooter, a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
On a warm summer's evening, on a train bound for nowhere, I met up with a gambler. We were both too tired to sleep, so we took turns staring out the window at the darkness till boredom overtook us. And he began to speak. He said, son, I've made a life.
This is XL Primetime, brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
It's a little bit more than reading people's faces, okay? More info's coming out, and it's not knowing when to hold them or to fold them. It's basically, in the words of one Pablo Escobar, it's plata o plomo.
Yeah, I don't know if he talks in this.
Silver or lead.
I don't know if he talks in this song about.
That's your choice, okay?
Contact lenses and X-ray tables.
Jonte Porter, the outlier in this group that was I guess not as detailed involved as the others. Basically got the Plato Plomo from whoever's version of Pablo Escobar with the mob.
Yeah, the guy who's not worth $100 million was the one who was threatened by the mafia when he owed gambling debts to the mob.
Let me just read some more of this real quick because it's more info's coming out. It's fascinating is what it is. Honestly, it's fascinating. One guy, so we were right about this. So remember when I said I guess my guess was they would bring millionaires to the table to lose money. One specific victim lost $1.8 million
in poker.
The victims lost at least $7 million, according to the FBI, which has been working on this case for 4 years. 4 years. They've reviewed thousands of hours of video evidence, executed more than 24 search warrants.
Yeah, so there was a guy at the shuffle machine or whatever was fixed. And it was being manipulated by an off-site guy that they called the quarterback, who would then relay the information to somebody at the table about who had what cards and whatnot.
So these rigged poker games occurred in the Hamptons, shocking. Miami, shocking. Las Vegas, shocking. And Manhattan, also shocking.
What'd you expect? Ocala, Florida.
Teams that were bet on during the sports gambling scheme include the Charlotte Hornets, Portland Trailblazers, Lakers, and the Toronto Raptors. Just, the FBI says that NBA player Terry Rozier told the defendants that he was going to leave a game early on March 23, 2023 with an injury. The defendants then placed more than $200,000 of wagers on the unders for his props bet, with Rozier leaving the game after 9 minutes. Those bets paid out tens of thousands of dollars in profits, and the defendants and Rozier counted the money at his house.
Genius.
The FBI says that former Raptors player Jonte Porter, the Plato Plomo, was threatened to participate in the sports gambling scheme because of his gambling debts.
Yeah, he was the one. He was the poorest player out of the ones involved.
Oh my gosh. The two cases are separate, but there are 3 overlapping defendants, including the former NBA player and coach and Damon Jones. Former NBA player and coach being Chauncey Billups. So these things are both overlapping. And this is, wow. A sports rigging operation that spanned years across 11 states. And in total, 30 individuals have been arrested, including 13 members of the mafia. 13.
Yep.
This is going to be.
That's why I don't gamble.
This is going to be. I would say a hell of a 30 for 30, but ESPN's not going to touch this. This is going to be a hell of a Netflix special.
Well, that's why
at
if you
some
want to
point.
play poker, you go to Best Bet or something.
Right.
You know?
Or if you're going to do prop bets, just go with Prize Picks. It's very easy.
Absolutely.
Yes. All right. I know somebody who knows a little something about gambling.
Now, the 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnicht. Nimnicht Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnicht Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
You've thrown some cash down on the ponies, right, LB?
I mean, we go to Vegas a lot around these parts, but no, I'm not the biggest gambler. As a matter of fact, so we've been to Vegas twice. I've yet to put even like a penny down on anything.
Really?
Isn't that sad?
So wait, so the only times you've been to Vegas is just through the station. You've never
That's
gone
correct.
there as
That's
wow.
correct. Yeah, both times through through the radio station, and Circa are good friends, and we'll be there next week as well.
Did TD bet it on when she was there?
She did not bet it either, but Tom McManus absolutely did.
Couple exciting gals on the town.
You guys must sound like a lot of fun there. I'll tell you what.
Oh, we have fun. We just don't spend time necessarily at the casino, but there's lots of other things to do there.
What's your takeaway from this crazy story?
I would say, and I'm not trying to like be on a high horse over here because I'm not a gambler, but if you do things wrong, eventually it comes to light. And I feel like that's just how it goes, you know?
That's what my mama used to say. If you look for trouble, it'll find you.
It will find you. And I mean, we keep seeing different things, whether it's players betting on stuff, they're eventually found out, right? Like in today's day and age, you can't hide this stuff. There's text messages or there's transactions on your phone or whatever. Like that all exists. And so if you obey the rules and do like Hard Rock Bet, you'll never get in trouble.
Right. Or Prize Picks.
Or Prize Picks, absolutely.
Right.
I just feel like you're dumb to think that you can get away with something like this, right?
I also think we're dumb and naive to think that it's just the NBA. If you think it's just the NBA where this is going on, you're out of your mind. Because
absolutely.
No sport is bet on more than football, even more than soccer, I would think, right, JJ? I mean, well, maybe not throughout the world. Yeah, in America, right, not the world. But in America, football is king. Like, I mean, there's no doubt this is going on in football.
But gambling on sports is one thing. Being involved in cheating people out of, I saw one person was $1.8 million. Like, that's a whole different crime, basically. So if you want to lose your own money, by all means, or win your own money, I don't care. But the
problem is he was throwing sports.
They're going to find out.
Right. These guys were throwing games. And that's kind of my point is that if you don't think there are players that are throwing games in the NFL and college football, you're out of your mind. Of course there are. Of course there are guys that owe money to somebody.
And they're probably going to get found out.
Yes,
so
they will.
I would say wait until your career's over, then gamble on sports all you want. Like, and again, I'm not trying to be like, I do everything right. I'm not saying that. But somebody's always watching, okay?
Right.
That's the bottom line.
Big brother. All right, what do you guys got coming up?
Oh, we'll talk, I'm sure, a little bit about this, and then we'll talk some Jags, and we also have lots of guests coming up, so a very full show.
All right, awesome.
Thanks,
you. LB. Helmets and Heels coming up
The
next.
problem wasn't gambling on sports. I mean, obviously.
Obviously.
The problem is he's intentionally leaving a game and having other people bet on a particular. He's throwing the game.
It's called racketeering.
Yeah. It's not that he was gambling on sports. That's the issue.
But there are my whole thing is I guarantee you this is going on in football, both college and professional.
Fact.
Yes, guarantee it is. So it's just a matter of time before it comes out. It is. All right, we got to go. Helmets and Heels coming up next. The Frangie Show after that. Then we got Baloo and Hacker all the way through the night on the Superstation. I'm Matt Hayes. He's Leon Cersei for JJ and for Joe C, who's out today and tomorrow doing some golf work. Hang on, we got a lot more sports coming your way.
XL Primetime is driven by Duval Ford. Injuries